this time from the DC Universe Classics Wave 19, we're taking a look at the original Adam Al Pratt. Very cool to have the Adam Al Pratt. Certainly not one of the, well, I guess the more popular characters of the Golden Age, but definitely a big part of the Justice Society. He's got quite a bit of legacy to him in the DC Universe. Now, the sculpt here is nice. I think he's a bit big for the character. He's not as big as I thought he was going to be, but he is bigger than I think the character should be. I mean, part of the Adam's character design is, and personality, is that he's a short guy. They did him pretty much full size, which is, I think, a little bit of a mistake. I think maybe if they used a combination between the full-size body and the teen body, they might have gotten a little bit better approximation to the true look of the Atom. Here, it's just big enough where it looks odd, and yet small enough where they can get away with it. Or there are tricks like keeping his knees bent just a little bit, hunching him over just a little bit, really kind of hides the fact that he is a normal-sized figure. There are lots of good and bads about this particular figure. First of all, the bads is ankle here. You can tell it was pretty much bent in the package, unfortunately. His legs are quite loose in certain positions, so that is also not too good. You know, once you hit a certain spot, they get tighter, but you know, if you're in a certain area, they are kind of loose, so the figure does tend to flop around a bit. Looks like the right arm here was bent out in the when they were being made. It seems to me like this should be a little bit more straighter on, but that might be just a mold problem common to all of the figures. And if that's so, I don't really like that. The paint job is wonderful. The actual sculpting of some of the stuff is pretty good. The buckles here on both his wrist bands and his, I guess, what you call the stomach there, are great. Alongside the paint, I mean, the paint. Look at that paint. The way they've mixed it in or painted it on both things really gives it the feel of leather, and it's meant to kind of, at least from my mind, is that it's meant to be weightlifting, a weightlifting belt and wrist guards or something that he's sort of adapted into his costume. So for accessories, well, he doesn't have any accessories, and articulation is pretty basic. Head goes up and down slightly and goes left and right. I just want to mention the sculpting detail is pretty good. You can really get the sense that it's cloth with a real nose and mouth underneath it, and a nice sculpting on the brow as well. and nice coloring with the eyes. Getting back to the articulation, his arms do go all the way around. The cape moves out of the way, and it's nice. So yeah, very nice. It is glued in, pegged and glued into the back of him. It's flexible enough to get out of the way. He goes in and out in the arms, rotates at the bicep, bends at the elbow, rotates at the wrist. He's got ab articulation really far back and a little bit far in forward. Waist articulation, a little bit loose, but okay. Legs, again, can be loose in certain positions that allow, because of the weight of the figure, allow them to flop over. But they go in and out, rotate at the thigh, bend at the knee, and bend at the ankle. So Al Pratt, the Atom, first makes his appearance in All-American Comics number 19 in 1940. And he is originally a 5'1", 98-pound weakling who was bullied at school, and eventually got so tired of it that he went to the trainer, Joe Morgan, the boxing trainer, who also just happened to train several other DC Universe heroes, including the hero Wildcat, who also has a boxing background. And he trained with him long and hard to prove his strength and his ability to sort of fight back against the bullies and overcome the obstacles of people judging him on his size. And he just happens to be inspired by, I think it's actually Green Lantern, the Alan Scott Green Lantern, who just started becoming active, and he's inspired by him to become a mystery man through. He gets involved somehow. I think somebody kidnaps his girlfriend at the time, and he decides to, instead of involve the police, become a mystery man. And shortly thereafter, he founds the JSA and embarks upon a long career as a costume adventurer. And he doesn't actually gain superpowers until 1948 with an encounter with the reluctant villain known as Cyclotron, who had gained his powers through atomic radiation. He's exposed to radiation, and it gave him super strength and toughness. Cyclotron was, of course, later revealed to be forced into the crime by the Ultra-Humanite and sacrificed himself to foil one of his plots. And his selflessness influenced Al to not only take custody of his daughter, Terry, but also to remodel his suit based on cyclotrons. So that's where you get the later finned look of the Atom. So this does represent the Atom kind of early on in his career. So he is forced to retire after the House of Un-American Activities Committee wanted to find out who the JSA really were and their loyalties, and rather than go public, the Atom retires along with most of the JSA. And like many of the other members of the JSA, he encountered many different um, things that helped to retard his aging, including a stay in limbo that was styled after the Norse end of the world scenario, Ragnarok. He eventually marries, and he became a professor at Calvin College. He was killed by Extant during Zero Hour, and however, he leaves behind a pretty big chunk of a legacy. Nuklon slash Atom Smasher is, or Al Rothstein, is the son of Terry Rothstein, who the daughter of Cyclotron, who he adopted, and Damage, or Grant Emerson, was his son, who was kidnapped by Vandal Savage, and eventually joined the Teen Titans, then the Freedom Fighters, where he was killed during Blackest Night. And he was thought for a while to be related to the female Manhunter, but it was revealed to be actually another member of the JSA. So I guess that'll be it for the Adam L. Pratt version. And until stay tuned for more reviews of this figures from this wave, and until my next video, I'll see you.